Hello and welcome back. We are going to talk about the Gulfstream Park Oaks and the Florida Derby. They're both this week at Gulfstream Park, and the Derby Trail is hitting its peak. It's only like, what, a month and a week or two until the Kentucky Derby, and then we have the Preakness, and then we have the Belmont Stakes in June, and then I'm going to probably take this YouTube on a hiatus after the Belmont again. But we still have a couple of months until that happens, so let's try to enjoy it. And I am happy that this YouTube has gained more views over the past year. I don't know why. I mean, I've kept it the same format for the most part. Let's talk about the Gulfstream Park Oaks, and we'll just focus on a few specific fillies in this race. In my view, there are three main fillies vying for the win spot in the Gulfstream Park Oaks. We're going to scroll down to the likely favorite, She Be Smooth, who won the Devona Dale Stakes by 6 lengths on this course, and she earned a 93 on Breeze for that win. We are going to watch that race, or the stretch run anyway, and She Be Smooth is on the outside. She's about 4 deep, and look at her open up. Look how fast she opens up on this field. My Miss Mo on the inside had no response for that. And On Time Girl's coming on the outside. I think On Time Girl was the favorite in that race. She Be Smooth crushes them easily. And it's hard to watch that and think, I'm going to pick another filly. We are going to pick another filly on top. I do think She Be Smooth is an obvious contender in this race. And stretching out to a mile 116 probably won't be a problem. Still, I do have another filly in mind that could beat her. First, let's talk about Prom Queen. Now, Prom Queen was second to She Be Smooth in the maiden race on this course on January 23. You can see that Prom Queen set the pace in that race before She Be Smooth took over in the stretch run. And then Prom Queen went on to break her maiden by 8 lengths on February 12, and that race was a mile and 1/16. And we have the clip up here. Prom Queen is on the lead. The jockey's wearing the black cap. And she just explodes from this field. She draws clear easily under a hand ride. And look at her open up so easily in this stretch run. And she heads to the short finish line under mostly her own power. And again, when Gulfstream Park runs a mile 1/16 races on dirt, they use a short finish line, which you could argue helps speed horses like Prom Queen, and maybe Prom Queen can use her speed in this race and try to get ahead of She Be Smooth and possibly hold her off. That could work, and she comes into this race with more experience now. Sometimes Brad Cox doesn't crank up his horses for their first career starts, and now she's making her third start. Maybe she has the experience to take on She Be Smooth and make it a fair race. I do have another filly, though, for the top spot. Prom Queen is a contender. There's one more contender I want to talk about. Number 4, Just Singing, was third in the Rachel Alexandra at Fairgrounds, and she was also third in the Goldenrod Stakes at Churchill Downs last fall, and in both cases she finished behind the winner Bella Ballerina. And they say that the best fillies on the Oaks Trail typically come from Fairgrounds, and Fairgrounds produced Good Cheer last year. Good Cheer went on to finish first in the Kentucky Oaks. Just Singing, I know she was third in the Rachel Alexandra. She was facing good fillies though. We have the clip up here, and Just Singing is not hard to spot. She has the biggest white blaze in the group, and she is third. She's going to make up some ground in the stretch run. She's not going to come that close, but still, she was keeping pace with the winners. She's inching towards them, towards the wire. Bella Ballerina goes on to win after switching her leads, or switching to her right lead. Just Singing ran well, though. And then in the Goldenrod, she was third in that race. And remember, Life of Joy was fourth in that race, and we saw Life of Joy go on to crush the field in the Fairgrounds Oaks. It's possible that the public will forget about Just Singing because they're going to see that she ran third twice in her last 2 starts, and they're going to look at She Be Smooth and how she won the Devona Dale by 6 lengths, and all the attention will be on She Be Smooth or Prom Queen, who is trained by Brad Cox. Where does that leave Just Singing on the tote board? She'll be third choice. I don't think she'll be second or first choice. And the blinkers do come on, so maybe she'll show more speed. Just Singing is my top choice in this race. I know there's not enough evidence to say that she's better than Prom Queen or She Be Smooth, but there's not enough evidence to say that she's worse than them. I want to talk about one more filly. My Miss Mo didn't run that bad in the Devoted Dale. You see that she was not too far off the pace. She was one length off the pace, half a length off the pace. And according to Breeze, it was a fast pace, plus 14, plus 7. And then at the end, she got a bit tired, and she lost by 6 lengths to She Be Smooth. I think with a softer pace, maybe she can hold on a bit longer and not be 6 lengths behind at the end. And maybe she could hit second or third at a price. I don't know, we'll see. My Miss Mo, if you're doing an exacta or trifecta, you probably want to think about putting her underneath. Just Singing is my top choice in the Gulfstream Park Oaks. Like I said, typically the best fillies on the Oaks Trail, they come from fairgrounds. This filly gets the blinkers on, and I think the public will overlook her because Prom Queen and She Be Smooth will take up most of the money. Just Singing has a good shot in this race. I'm going to take her. She Be Smooth and Prom Queen are both contenders as well. And My Miss Mo is my long shot for underneath spots. Those are my thoughts on the Gulfstream Park Oaks. Let's move on to the Florida Derby. We start off the Florida Derby with Albus on the rail, and Albus broke his maiden by 6 3/4 of a length at Tampa Bay Downs. We have the clip up here, and we see him drawing clear from the field right now. The whip is out, but only for a little bit. I like the way that he wins this race. I like the way that he moves towards the wire, and he just strides clear under his own power at this point. Very impressive, although he was facing Tampa Bay Downs opponents, and now he's being thrown to the wolves in the Florida Derby. How is he going to handle that? I think he could hit the board with some luck, maybe third or fourth. He's going to save ground from the rail. He's a long shot, so he will provide some value in this race, for underneath spots at least. Let's move on to Chief Wallaby. Chief Wallaby, number 2. He was second in the Fountain of Youth Stakes on this course. He lost to Commandment, who is also in this field, and we have the clip up here. It feels like Chief Wallaby is going to win, but then Commandment, he fights back on the inside, and Commandment is going to hold off Chief Wallaby at the end. I don't know how hard you can be on Chief Wallaby, though. It was only his second start, and he only lost by a neck in a grade 2 on the Derby Trail in his second start, and he earned a 103 on Breeze. The thing is, Chief Wallaby is very popular. He's no secret. You're not going to get any value on this horse. I do think he's a contender. I do think he's improving, and he's going to be a big-time horse throughout the season. He is a major contender, but you just want to think about what kind of price you're getting, and if that's too low. Let's move on to number 3, Wayne's Law. Wayne's Law, number 3, he ran second in the Sam F. Davis Stakes, and we have the clip up here. He did have easy fractions in that race, 48-30 for the half, and that may be the reason why he lasted so long in the stretch. Renegade goes by him, the Puma is in third, and we've talked about this, the Puma was in traffic, so he didn't have a chance to pass Wayne's Law. Wayne's Law ran well. I just think he's being thrown to the wolves as well. I mean, what's going to happen when Wayne's Law faces the pressure of Nearly, or faces the pressure of Chief Wallaby and Commandment on the far turn? These are better horses, and I think that Wayne's Law is going to fold under the pressure once they hit the far turn. Wayne's Law, he's not for me in the Florida Derby. Let's move on to number 4. Commandment, number 4. He won the Fountain of Youth Stakes by neck, which we just saw. And what else can I say about that? We just saw the race. He held off Chief Wallaby in the stretch. And this horse has some tactical speed. And I wasn't sure about him after the Mucho Mantra Man Stakes, but after watching the Fountain of Youth Stakes, he's obviously a major contender. And he's not going to be the favorite. I think Chief Wallaby's going to be the favorite. So there's somewhat of an advantage there if you want to take Commandment instead of Chief Wallaby. Flavin Pratt takes the mount instead of Irad Ortiz. That's fine. That's a fair trade to me. And I can't say anything else about Commandment. He's a contender in this race. We just saw him hold off Chief Wallaby. He did have the inside trip in that race. If you want to say Commandment had the inside trip, maybe that made a difference at the end. And he had more experience going into that race. He had 3 starts before the Fountain of Youth. Chief Wallaby only had 1 start. Again, though, I think Chief Wallaby will be the favorite, so there might be fair odds on Commandment. We'll see. Commandment is a major contender in the Florida Derby. We move on to number 5, Redland Rebels, who is actually not going to be in this race. He's scheduled to be in the Arkansas Derby. So let's move on to number 6, Nearly. Number 6, Nearly. This might be the forgotten horse on the Derby Trail because he won the Holy Bull Stakes on January 31 by 5 3/4 of a length. And then other horses won their Derby Trail races, and this one sort of became forgotten. Nearly, he still won impressively. We talked about this race before. The pace was fast in this race, 22.82, 45.96, 110.32, which means that I can forgive the fact that they didn't come home that fast. They were struggling to come home towards the wire because they went so fast in the early stages. Now, if they had a moderate or slow pace and still came home slowly, then I'd be less forgiving. But because the pace was so fast, 22.82, 45.96, they were always going to come home slowly. Nearly did endure the pace. He put away Cannoneer, and he repelled Bravaro around the turn. Now, Bravaro didn't run well in the Fountain of Youth Stakes. I can forgive it. Bravaro had a different kind of trip in that race. Maybe he needs to be more up front, because in the Fountain of Youth, he was more in mid-pack. Nearly still ran an impressive race. We had Incredibolt, who finished last in the Holy Bull Stakes, and he went on to win the Virginia Derby. That's something. Nearly's going to be my top choice because I think there's not enough evidence in this race to say he's not as good as Chief Wallaby or Commandment, and he's going to be higher odds than them. And I can't pass that up. Is he as good as Chief Wallaby or Commandment? I'm not sure. He might be. And he's going to be slightly higher odds, as I said. So why wouldn't I pick Nearly? He won his last 3 starts. He has tactical speed. He could press the leader. He has good connections. Todd Pletcher knows how to win at Gulfstream Park, obviously. Nearly is my top choice for the Florida Derby. And we move on to number 7, Timeless Victory. I'm not too interested in Timeless Victory. I think he's overmatched in this spot. He won a local optional claimer by 6 lengths. But look at the race 2 back where he got crushed by Nearly by 9 3/4 of a length. And there's no way this horse can be up there with his speed and handle all the pressure. He would need to deal with Wayne's Law, and then Nearly, and then Chief Wallaby, and then Commandment. There's just no way. Timeless Victory is not for me in the Florida Derby. Number 8, the Puma, who I had picked in the Sam F. Davis Stakes, and we talked about this. He got in traffic problems in that race, and then he won the Tampa Bay Derby going wide. And we have the clip up here. You see how wide the Puma is. He's about 5 wide right now. And he's going to go on to win this race. It's a hard-fought victory, though. And these horses that he beat, Further Ado, and what was the horse on the inside? Canaletto. The Puma, I don't know if he was facing horses that are on this level in the Florida Derby. That's my problem with the race. He did go wide in that race, and he has that excuse. And he's going to have to go wide in this race from post 8. I think his limit in this race is underneath, especially with this post position. That's hard for me to say because I like this horse. And he ran second to Chief Wallaby back on January 10 in that maiden race, although I think Chief Wallaby was toying with him. He's an underneath horse in this race. I don't think he can overcome a wide post in this race and beat horses like Chief Wallaby, Commandment, and Nearly. The Puma may be an underneath horse in this race. Number 9, Gregarious. I don't want to spend too much time on this horse. He lost his only maiden start by 5 3/4 of a length, so he's still a maiden in this race. And there's no way he could use his speed and handle all the pressure of being up front. He will need to use his speed from the number 9 post. But again, there's other speed in this race. Wayne's Law, Timeless Victory, and then you have Nearly with his speed, and then Commandment and Chief Wallaby will be coming on the far turn. There's no way this maiden could handle all that pressure up front. Gregarious, not for me. And let's move on and round this up. Nearly is my top choice in the Florida Derby. As I explained, you want to be forgiving in the fact that he didn't come home that fast in the Holy Bull Stakes. Whenever there's an extreme pace, they're not going to come home fast. He still won by 5 3/4 of a length. And then we had Incredibolt, who was last in that race. He won the Virginia Derby. Nearly is my top choice. He's not going to be the favorite. He's going to be the third choice at worst. And that's great for me. Chief Wallaby and Commandment are obviously contenders in this race. And what else can I say? The Puma would be an underneath horse. And there was one more underneath horse that I pointed out, and that's going to be Alba's. So those are some long shots to consider underneath, but Nearly is my top choice in this race. Thanks for watching my video on the Gulfstream Park Oaks and the Florida Derby. I'll be back when I can with another video covering the Derby Trail.